There's nothing quite like a recipe from mom, and today I am making Mama's homemade cinnamon rolls. They're so good, so delicious, nice and light dough, rolled with cinnamon, sugar, and raisins, and covered with a nice light glaze. They're so delicious, and they bring me right back to my childhood. So I'll show you just how Mama makes it. Thanks for the recipe, Mama. Okay, so to make our Mama's cinnamon rolls, first and foremost, it starts out with making the dough. So I've already made my dough, and it's super simple. I just first and foremost started by combining my yeast with some more milk, and then to that I added 1 whole egg, some oil, some sugar, and then I gradually added in my flour, kept on stirring until it came together and formed a nice thick dough, and then I turned it over onto my board and kneaded it thoroughly. And then I placed it in a bowl greased with a little bit of oil and covered it, and I let it rise for a little bit over an hour, and here I have my dough that has doubled in size, and it looks really great. So first and foremost, let's start out by making our cinnamon sugar, and this is the topping that's going to go inside of our cinnamon rolls. So good. So I have about 1 cup of white sugar here, and to that I'm going to add some ground cinnamon and give it a stir. And that's simple. That is literally our cinnamon sugar mixture. So good. So now that that is prepared, it's time to start preparing my dough. So I'm just going to take just a little bit of flour. I don't want to go too crazy because I don't need a whole lot to roll out my dough. I also have some softened butter that I've let sit out, and it's gotten nice and soft, and this is what I'm going to use to rub on my dough. So set this aside, and let's get started by rolling. So I have my rolling pin. I'm going to dust it with just a little bit of flour along with my hands and just roll it out to form a nice rectangular piece of dough. And people have different preferences for the thickness, but I mean, I'm rolling mine out like Mama's, so I'm rolling it like I remember her seeing her roll it. So depending on if you like a thicker cinnamon roll or a thinner cinnamon roll, you can roll it out to the thickness you like. But I'm really aiming for about 1/2 inch to 1 inch in thickness. Not too crazy here. And the thing is, we want to make it rectangular in shape, because when we're rolling it, we want to have an equal number. As a kid, I used to love to watch my mom make cinnamon rolls, and honestly, it is one of her specialties. If you just taste her cinnamon rolls, to me, there are no other cinnamon rolls in the world quite as good as Mama's. And, you know, I really just, as a kid, I loved to watch my mom preparing the cinnamon rolls, because you can smell the bread, the cinnamon sugar. It's just absolutely divine. And she just knew how to make them and had just such a knack for them, and she would make dozens of them, and we just all enjoyed them as kids. So yeah, honoring Mama today. Alright, so now that my dough is nice and rolled out, somewhat rectangular shape here, I'm going to dust off the excess flour, and then I'm going to take my melted butter and I'm just going to rub it on the dough. So just take a little bit, and then just with my hands, just smooth it out. Just like that. And I do go liberally with the butter because, yeah, I mean, they taste amazing with the butter, and it's such an essential component for the cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls are not a whole lot of ingredients, you know, it's nothing like extravagant in preparation, but it's taking care to the ingredients that you do have and really preparing them the right way. So I'm just going to give my hands a quick wipe off with some paper towels here. So I have a little excess butter on them. And now it's time to start adding my cinnamon sugar. So what I'm going to do is literally just give it another stir, and then just liberally sprinkle it right on top. Heavenly, guys. The cinnamon smells amazing. And I am liberally sprinkling it because this is really the sweet aspect of it. Besides the icing, which my mom normally does a really simple icing that I will share with you, it is the sweetness of the cinnamon rolls. And I love the fact that cinnamon rolls in my mom's version, they're not too sweet. because I really don't like the heavy icing. I really want to taste the heart of the dough and the actual natural preparation of it. Beautiful. All right, so now that I have it nicely coated with my cinnamon and sugar mixture, it's time to add my raisins. So I've added just a little bit of hot water to my raisins and let them rehydrate just a little bit for just a few minutes, and then I drain them. And I find that this gets the raisins nice and plump and kind of avoids that kind of dry, raisiny feel. I also do this when I'm making oatmeal raisin cookies. Basically, any time that I'm baking with raisins, I just give them a chance to just go, and take some of the water in and kind of fluff up a little bit. And trust me, it is worth the extra effort in the baked goods when you prepare them. Beautiful. And at this point, if you also wanted to add some nuts, some walnuts, or some hazelnuts in there, you could add as you wish, but this is Mama's version, and Mama just added the raisins. So we are just sticking with Mama's recipe because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, all right, that looks great, guys. Now it's time to roll. So, all right, this is a total gentle process. My mom made it look super easy. But I think if you've ever seen like my apple strudel video, I actually rolled out a tablecloth because the dough was super, super thin. So if you prefer to do that as well, you can just spread out a tablecloth on your countertop and then lift the tablecloth and it rolls. And it's so simple. But for this, the dough is not too thin. So I'm going to first start by just folding it, just this top guy here, and then just gently rolling it. You know, just be patient with it. It's no rush. You don't have to go crazy. And just gently lifting it and rolling it. My goodness, these smell so good. So many delicious elements and such a simple recipe. Alright, so as you can see, I'm just gently rolling it. I'm taking it from side to side, working from left to right, right to left, until I've completely rolled up my cinnamon rolls. And while it might look like a thin roll right now, trust me on this one, it will definitely rise again because we're going to do a second rise. So these guys will get even bigger. So don't have fear if you roll it and you think, oh, that's not as big as I want it to be, because they will rise again and they're going to rise also in the oven. So now what I'm going to do is take my knife and cut my cinnamon rolls. So start with the end and just cut off this end portion and then just gently cut. Again, cut. And you can make these as thick or as thin as you like. Maybe you like a really thin cinnamon roll. But once again, I'm going with my mom's technique, and this was about the thickness that she cut the cinnamon rolls, from what I remember as a kid. And as a kid, I used to just watch over her shoulder and watch her cook these, amongst many other things, because, yeah, she just had such a knack and such a gift, and she still does, for preparing desserts like this, and they are just absolutely heavenly to eat. Alright, so now what I have done in the meantime is I've already pre-greased my baking pan. And what I'm using is actually a circular spring fork pan that I have pre-greased with some butter to make sure that these guys don't stick. So now we are going to set these in my pan and just make them happy together. So by that I mean I'm setting them close so that they actually touch from corner to corner, just like that. And then also making sure that the roll side open fits in neatly. So I'm going to continue with this, and then I'm going to cover them and let them rise for another about 45 minutes to an hour. And then it'll be time to pop these guys in the oven, and soon, and very soon, we will have our delicious Mama's cinnamon rolls. So good. Okay, so it has been about an hour and a half, and my cinnamon rolls have been rising. And now it's time to uncover. Ooh, wow. So they have definitely doubled in size. They are nice and plump. I completely filled out my springform pan. So now it's time to bake them. So I have my oven preheated for 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to bake them until they're nice and golden, and then it'll be time to drizzle on our glaze, and then we will have Mama's cinnamon rolls ready to go. So good. Okay, so my cinnamon rolls have been baking and it smells amazing. So good. It's time to take them out of the oven. Whoa. Check that out. Mama's cinnamon rolls, nice and golden brown, and the smell of the cinnamon and the sugar and fresh baked bread. Delish. So now what I'm going to do is take a little bit of softened butter and just brush the tops of them, just with a little bit more butter. And this just kind of ensures that they stay nice and soft. So good. So I'm just liberally brushing the butter right on top, and as you do, it just drips down the sides. I cannot wait to try one of these. They're so good when they're warm too. All right, beautiful. That looks great. So now I'm going to make my glaze. So I have some powdered sugar, and then to that I'm just going to add just a touch of milk. I really don't need much. It's actually kind of magic the way it happens. And then I'm just whisking it together just until the milk and the powdered sugar are nicely combined. And then to that, I'm going to add just a touch of vanilla extract. That's just a nice hint of vanilla flavor for the glaze. Again, I'm just going to whisk it all together here with my fork. Give it a nice stir, just until the powdered sugar is nicely incorporated. And now I'm going to drizzle this right on top. So, no rules for this. Just drizzle it as you wish, as much or as little as you like. I like just enough because these are Mama's cinnamon rolls, so I want to do it just like the way Mama made it. Beautiful. Guys, this looks so delicious. And there we have it, our delicious Mama's cinnamon rolls. Homemade and so good and so delicious, and just like Mama's, made with love. Thank you, Mama, for the cinnamon roll recipe. So, thank you so much for checking out this video for how to make Mama's cinnamon rolls. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I also hope that you give it a try for yourself in your home kitchen. And until the next video, I can't wait to see you next time. See ya!